Coffee has long occupied a complicated place in our cultural and nutritional imagination. For decades, it was blamed for an array of health problems, from causing high blood pressure and heart palpitations to being linked to ulcers, anxiety, and even more serious concerns like heart disease. Early studies often painted coffee in a negative light, but many of those studies failed to separate coffee itself from the behaviors that often accompanied it, such as smoking or poor diet. As a result, coffee earned a reputation as something of a guilty pleasure, something people loved but felt a little uneasy about consuming regularly. The warm, familiar ritual of a morning cup became tinged with quiet anxiety about its long-term effects. These concerns were not baseless. After all, coffee contains caffeine, a stimulant that undeniably affects the central nervous system, and it can cause restlessness, insomnia, and increased heart rate in sensitive individuals. For people prone to anxiety disorders or those with certain heart conditions, high caffeine intake can still pose real risks. Even today, pregnant women are advised to moderate their coffee intake to avoid potential complications. So it is important to acknowledge that coffee, like many powerful substances, is not without potential dangers if consumed irresponsibly. However, as scientific methods improved and more sophisticated long-term studies became possible, a much more nuanced and hopeful picture of coffee began to emerge. Large-scale epidemiological research, involving hundreds of thousands of participants, has consistently found that moderate coffee consumption is not only safe for most people, but is actually associated with a reduced risk of several serious diseases. For instance, people who drink coffee regularly appear to have a significantly lower risk of developing Parkinson's disease. Studies suggest that caffeine may help protect the neurons in the brain that are typically damaged in Parkinson's, offering a kind of neurological shield against degeneration. Similarly, coffee drinkers have been shown to have a reduced risk of developing type 2 diabetes, with some research pointing to improvements in glucose metabolism and insulin sensitivity as possible explanations. Coffee is also rich in bioactive compounds beyond caffeine, including antioxidants such as chlorogenic acid, which can help combat oxidative stress and inflammation, two major drivers of aging and chronic disease. Moderate coffee intake has been linked to a lower risk of certain types of cancer, particularly liver and colorectal cancers. There is even growing evidence that coffee may support heart health when consumed wisely, contrary to the early fears that labeled it as a cardiovascular risk. By helping to improve endothelial function and reduce inflammation, coffee might actually contribute to a healthier circulatory system over time. Yet, the warnings must still be taken seriously. Not all coffee habits are created equal. Drowning coffee in sugar, syrups, and high-fat dairy can quickly turn a potentially beneficial beverage into a health hazard. High caffeine intake, usually more than 400 milligrams per day, or about 4 cups of brewed coffee, can lead to problems such as anxiety, digestive issues, and disturbed sleep patterns. Sleep disruption, in particular, can have cascading negative effects on health, from impaired immune function to increased risk of depression. People with certain heart arrhythmias, high blood pressure, or those who metabolize caffeine slowly should approach coffee with particular caution. Even for healthy individuals, the timing of coffee consumption matters. Late-day caffeine can sabotage the restorative quality of sleep, robbing the body of one of its most vital healing processes. Despite these real and necessary cautions, the modern understanding of coffee offers a sense of joyful relief for millions of people around the world. That steaming cup in the morning or the shared coffee break with a friend is no longer something that must be enjoyed with a sense of guilt or fear. Instead, coffee can be seen as a comforting ally, a natural gift that, when treated with respect and moderation, supports both physical vitality and emotional well-being. There is a real emotional warmth in realizing that one of life's simplest pleasures is not only compatible with good health, but may actively contribute to it. Coffee's journey from villain to hero in the realm of nutrition is a testament to the importance of patience, scientific rigor, and keeping an open mind. It reminds us to question easy assumptions and to respect the complexity of foods and the human body. Coffee is not a magic bullet, nor is it universally beneficial for everyone. But for many, it is a remarkable example of how something long feared can, under the right conditions, become a source of healing and happiness. In the end, savoring coffee with mindfulness and gratitude can transform a daily habit into a small but meaningful act of self-care, linking us to ancient traditions and to the cutting edge of nutritional science all at once.